Un placer aquí también para mí estar aquí presentando los temas dentro de la destinación 2 y que espero que sirva para ayudar y reforzar y tener más éxito en las aplicaciones por parte de España. Y como Garbiñe voy a explicar también los tópicos en inglés por razones obvias que preparamos todos estos documentos en inglés y va a ser más claro si os lo explico en ese idioma que en español. Así que, por favor, si vamos a la siguiente diapositiva. I will start with the area of strategic innovation markets driven by advanced materials. The topics that are listed under this section are related to the Advanced Materials Manifesto that was published in February this year and identifies a number of innovation markets where advanced materials can drive the innovation. For this year, for 2023, we have 4 topics addressing specific innovation markets that you will see, and another one which is a CSA topic that covers an horizontal aspect, which is the digitalization, which is a strong element on this agenda on advanced materials. And I will give the details later on. So we can move to the next slide, please. I'll start with the bio-inspired and biometric materials for sustainable textiles. This topic covers the innovation market on textiles, and outcomes of this call aim at use a new generation of renewable and recyclable materials that are designed with properties inspired by nature. The proposals for this call have to take into account the safe and sustainable by design framework, meaning that they should consider the 4 assessment steps that are included in this recommendation that was published last week, Commission recommendation, and they have the links in the topic description to our RTD website, where they can find all the relevant documents for this. This, of course, means that they should consider the whole life cycle of the material that they develop, address circularity, aiming at lowering the environmental footprint, and also reduce the use of hazardous chemicals during the processes. The developed advanced materials should provide advanced functionalities and address biodegradability and the recyclability, especially for the polymers. Under the scope, proposals should prove scalability for manufacturing processes, and they are encouraged to use digital tools for the design of the development. The budget for this topic is 31 million, expected contribution 3 to 8, meaning that we will fund approximately 4 to 5 projects. It is an innovation action, and projects should start at TRL 4, ending at TRL 6 to 7 by the end of the project. For the next topic, it is on smart sensors for electronic appliances market. This covers the innovation market on electronic appliances, and the idea behind this topic is because sensors are a key technology for electronic appliances that serve current needs of our society. Expected outcomes should support self-monitoring in fitness and well-being, also for personal health monitoring, environmental monitoring, and also cooling and thermal distribution and supply chain management. The developed sensors should target to be small and enhance the durability of them. And under the scope is fast scanning and sensor-based devices that can be developed at large scale and could augment or replace traditional methods for measurement and quality control. The development of the new sensors materials have to be with properties such as stretchability, self-healing, and self-cleaning that can be used in wearable electronics and smart textiles for the health and sport sectors. Other aspects under the scope here again is the use of the digital tools for the development of these advanced materials, like can be modeling, simulation, or characterization techniques. Again, here the expected budget for the call is 31 million, 6 to 8 million per project, meaning that 4 to 5 projects can be funded. In this case, it's a research and innovation action, and projects should start at TRL 3 to 4 and end at 5 to 6. On the next topic, on advanced materials, nano and bio-based for sustainable agriculture. Here the innovation market addressed is the sustainable agriculture, and it is mandatory for this project to take into account the safe and sustainable by design framework. Again, they have the link in the topic description and documents to assess, and meaning that they really here need to consider the 4 assessment steps that are proposed in this framework. Outcomes of this topic should provide farmers with alternative tools to reduce the use of pesticides and fertilizers, and contribute to reducing the environmental footprint of these agrochemicals. And outcomes as well with such objectives will support the climate ambitions by contributing to reversing biodiversity loss and to a more sustainable food production, and as well support the goals of the missions a soil deal for Europe and oceans and waters. Under the scope of this topic, there are a number of elements where the applicants can make the selection. One of them is mandatory, the SSbD, but others are, for example, to perform a proof of concept with real-life case studies, or build on existing standards for the production and risk assessment. It is also suggested to apply fair data principles for the data generated during this project, and enhance synergies at European, national, or regional level with relevant initiatives, and also with projects under the Cluster 4. The proposals for this call should include a business case and exploitation strategy, and again, the budget, indicated budget is 31 million, and we expect to fund 4 to 5 projects under this call. It's a research and innovation action, and the proposal should start at TRL 3 to 4 at the beginning of the project and achieve 5 to 6 by the end. On the next topic, under advanced materials, this is the last one addressing specific innovation markets, is advanced materials for magnets in applications for new energy markets. And what we aim with the outcomes of these projects is to strengthen the European open strategic autonomy and competitiveness by developing these advanced materials for magnets that are either free from rare earth metals or used to a significant extent as substitute and reduce the share of rare earth metals used in magnets. The developed magnets should have an improved energy efficiency and performance and facilitate its recycling. Under the scope for these topics, there are a number of elements where the applicant can make a selection, and some of them include address the reduction of the dependency on critical raw materials, develop rare earth-free permanent magnetic materials, make the use of advanced materials modeling and simulation tools, apply life cycle assessment to assess the environmental impacts along the life cycle, and also techno-economic assessments, address scale at industry and production level, and of course make synergies with European, national or regional initiatives, as well as projects funded under Cluster 5. For this call, we also expect projects to come with a business case and exploitation strategy. And again, the expected budget is, indicative budget is 31 million, meaning that 4 to 5 projects could be funded. It's a research and innovation action, and TRL should start at 3-4 and end at 5-6 by the end of the project. And now we go to the coordination and support action on coordination and knowledge sharing across materials development communities. This is a lump sum project, and what we aim here as an outcome is to develop a common knowledge base for researchers and industry that increases collaboration among advanced materials innovation markets. The results of this call should overcome obstacles related to the use of digital tools and improve access to data and data valorization. And in the scope here of this for this topic, we want to have collaboration with existing European and national data spaces and the marketplaces that are available related to interfaces and metadata. The selected project should establish an inventory of such spaces and network with them and make them accessible to different interested stakeholders. They should also establish a common methodology for data acquisition and knowledge generation, as well as a common language for the data documentation. They are encouraged to take into account the safe and sustainable by design framework. So aspects on safety and sustainability can also be part of this data platform for the development of advanced materials. And they should also develop a business plan for the digital knowledge sharing system. A requirement here interesting for this call is to address training schemes and skills development, and of course target collaboration with data spaces from the Digital Europe program, projects related to common European data spaces, and also the topic Resilience 0123 that I will present later on. For this CSA topic, we have an indicative budget for 2 million, meaning that we expect only one project to be funded. And as I said, it's a coordination and support action. And now we go to the section on safe and sustainable by design. Before entering into the different topics, here I want to highlight 2 aspects that are common for all of them. All these topics under this section need to make use of the Commission recommendation on safe and sustainable by design and build from the methods that are proposed under this recommendation, consider all these assessment steps, and for that they can also make use of the GRC technical reports. All of this is available in our website on RTD, and they have the link in the topic description. Projects under this section are also expected to indicate to which areas of the Strategic Research and Innovation Plan for Chemicals and Materials that was published in October, to which sections of this document they are contributed to. And they have also the link in our website in the description of the topic, where they can find the document and make the reference. Now we will go to the first topic. Yes. So the first one is on innovative methods for safety and sustainability assessment of chemicals and materials. And the objective here is to develop innovative methods for the safety and sustainability assessment and make them available to industry, policymakers, and public authorities. With this topic, we contribute to European policies and strategies related to chemicals and materials, like the Chemicals Strategy for Sustainability, where SSbD is one of the actions under this strategy, but also others like the revision of the REACH regulation and also the classification, labeling, and packaging. The results have to be in a proper format for further update in validation processes or standardization. This is an important aspect for this topic as well. And under the scope, for example, in the area of safety, we want to make progress with in vitro and in silico testing, and also new approach methodologies to develop alternatives to animal testing. In the area of sustainability, we expect proposals to move towards assessment of absolute sustainability and take into account the planetary boundaries. Under the scope, it covers either existing or new chemicals or materials that are being developed, but they have to select at least 3 applications. And the selection of these applications has to be based on a socioeconomic assessment of this selection. And the methods selected for development or improvement have to be justified with a gap analysis. Here, proposals need to address fair data principles for the models and the data, and the indicative budget is 29 million with 6 to 8 million per project, meaning that around 4 projects will be funded. It's a research and innovation action, and projects will achieve TRL 6 at the end. If we go to the next topic, it's on integrated integrated approach for impact assessment for safe and sustainable chemicals and materials. And the objective behind this topic is really to develop these integrated approaches to make informed decisions that are impact-based and consider health, environment, and socioeconomic impact. The outcomes should be made available to industry, policymakers, and public authorities. And they should develop guidelines to facilitate the decision making when we are considering several sustainability criteria. And in the scope, the case studies have to be selected based on the societal relevance of the chemical or material selected. And this is a very important aspect here, that the project has to include a demonstration of the validated approach in views to facilitate the acceptance by different stakeholders. Here again, it's important that the proposal addresses fair data principles and approaches, and we expect cooperation with the previous topic that I presented. Also the partnership on risk assessment of chemicals, as well, and the GRC. This aspect is also relevant for the project before that I forgot to mention. So Resilience 21, it's also encouraged to establish cooperation with PARC and the Joint Research Center, as well as with this topic. And here the expected indicative budget is 15 million, with expected contribution of 3 to 4 million per project, meaning that around 4 projects can be funded, and they should achieve TRL 5 by the end, and it's a research and innovation action. If we move to the last topic on SSbD, this is on computational models for the development of safe and sustainable by design chemicals and materials. It is a lump sum call. And here the objective behind it is really to develop models, computational models that are supported by artificial intelligence and can be used for the design of new chemicals and materials, integrating the safe and sustainable by design framework. The purpose of this is to accelerate the innovation capacity of European industry and the SMEs with cost-effective tools that can assist to make industry more agile to respond to external and internal influences, like it can be market demands or new regulatory requirements. Here, the topics are encouraged to prioritize the application of these models to develop alternatives to substances of concern. And they should develop innovative modeling software with predictive tools that can also serve for forecasting of sustainability performance along the life cycle, the entire life cycle of the chemical or material. And the objective is with these tools to be able to explore which technical solutions are the most appropriate, taking into account safety and sustainability aspects along the entire life cycle. Proposals should address also information exchange along the value chain. And this is here also a very important aspect, that the proposals really need to take into account the time needed for validation, because we expect the projects to validate the tools developed against existing data, and that the application of the tool is also performed by external users within the time of the project. Here again, fair data principles have to be considered, and the indicative budget is 29 million, with expected contribution per project of 6 to 7, meaning that again around 4 projects will be funded, and we expect to achieve TRL 6 by the end of the project, and it's a research and innovation action. And this is all from my side. I hope I was quick enough on time. I'm now happy to address any questions.